Alright guys, it's 12:30 at night this time. But I got something else I want you to look at. So, well, here you go. Here it is. This one doesn't belong to me either, not yet anyways. It is a 5712S Massey Ferguson. It is 120 engine horsepower, and on the dyno it was doing about 103 PTO horsepower. So it's a little bit smaller tractor than the John Deere, so a little bit smaller frame size, even though it does have the same size tires on it. It's a pretty nice tractor. I don't particularly care for how it looks. It doesn't appeal to me as far as looks as good as the John Deere. It's got the sloping hood on it, or as they call it overseas, sloping bonnet. So you can see the loader real good. Now, it don't look that good, but it actually really helps you in using the loader. Another thing I don't think looks the greatest, but also helps, is it has the Vizio roof, which makes the cab look a little bit like E.T. You can see you got two lights. The non-Vizio roof actually has 4 lights up there, and I think they look a little better, but you can't see to stack hay as good. You have to do a lot of neck craning. And those lights on the Vizio roof, like this one, they actually have, you can't see it from here, but they actually have double bulbs in each one. So they're actually 2 lights in one, and the rear lights are the same way on the cab. But we'll go around to the back and look. It does have the buttons to raise the lift up and down, PTO control on this side only. It don't have one on the other side. It does have the lift control on the other side. You have some extremely large lift rams back here to pick the lift up. The lift arms are definitely big and healthy. Hold on just a second. I got grease all in my hand. I'm gonna wipe it off. All right, back to the rear here. It's got a big, healthy top link on it, a whole lot bigger than the T5. The lift arms are bigger than the T5. The lift cylinders are bigger than the T5. I'm not sure exactly what the lift capacity is on it, but it's pretty good. It has 4 remotes back here, but 2 of them are electronically operated with a joystick, and I'll show you that here in a minute. It does have cab suspension. That's what this deal is here. Has 4 lights back here, 2 on the fenders, and then the double ones on the cab, like I was talking about, has double bulbs in those. Rear wheel weights. The nice mirrors like the T5, but these actually are heated and power adjust from the cab. The T5 was not. Corner post exhaust, that's pretty standard anymore. It does not have a quick disconnect here for the loader. It can be added, but it doesn't have one now. This right here, you would think this is a quick disconnect, but what this actually does is you pull this little lever and you pull this down, and that switches the hydraulics from the loader to the rear remotes that operate from the joystick. So you use the same joystick to operate the loader and the 2 electro hydraulic remotes on the rear, and you switch that lever to switch it. I'll show you a little more about that. I got it has the Euro style connector on it, so I have a adapter on it here, and you can use it. This is a skid steer plate adapter. You just move these levers to put your skid steer implements on. I have a hay spear. Everything I have is skid steer, and they don't offer skid steer plate on this tractor. which is fine because that gives me the option to use the Euro attachments if somebody else has some or I want to get some, because I actually like how they connect and disconnect a whole lot better. It's a whole lot faster and easier. So anyway, let's get in the cab. And it does use DEF, but it does not have a diesel exhaust filter. The John Deere did, and it used DEF, and it had exhaust gas recirculation, and this tractor, to my knowledge, does not. So, all right, let's get in the cab. The cab is nice. I do like the cab. I do like the visibility from the cab, so you can check this hood out. You can see right down to your loader. And when you look up, you can see everything up above you for stacking square hay or round hay. You have a shade, you can pull over that if it's sunny outside, so that's nice. You do lose some cooling vents right here, but according to some people I've talked to, the fan is bigger in these. They hold more coolant, like 134 refrigerant in the air conditioning, and they have bigger evaporator and condenser to take care of the extra heat. So, but most of the vents are behind you and they blow on your back. These are actually intake vents, but there's a couple of blowing vents up here. And over here, these are intake vents. You can see the recirculate sticker on them. Over here is your heat and air controls. There's a little box here that the air conditioner blows into. You can put a can in or something that would fit to keep cold in the summer or hot in the winter. Stereo is not Bluetooth, but that can be changed for a Bluetooth. That's no big deal. There is a screen in this tractor. It's not touch screen, but it does change a lot of crucial functions about how all this stuff right here works. This is your transmission joystick, and it has a lot of controls you can see here. And this is the loader joystick, which also has forward, reverse, upshift, downshift, and third function. And you can actually program through this here anything you want in this tractor, basically, for H3 and H4 to do. Now, it's programmed right now to operate third function on the loader, which would operate a grapple. But you can, let's say you want H3 to turn on the differential lock and H4 to turn on and off the four-wheel drive. You can set it to do that. Let's say you want H3 to automatically rev the throttle up. You can have it do that. You can have it to actually operate the 3-point hitch back there. You can have, say, H3 let it down and H4 raise it up, or you can have H3 let it down and raise it up. You can push it once to go down and push it again to go up. I mean, it's just all kinds of possibilities that you can do with H3 and H4. It's pretty neat. Now, once you switch that lever out there on the loader and it shuts the loader off, you can't move the loader. You can leave the loader on and the loader suspension still works, but you can't actually use the loader without going back and changing the lever. So you park the loader, you get the loader in the position that you want it, and you go out there and you cut it off, and then you can use the loader joystick to control the mower, the bush hog, straw blower. I think it would be awesome on a straw blower because you can have it to where you can rotate the spout left and right and tilt the spout forwards and back. I think that would be extremely awesome. Also, when you have it in that mode, you can control one remote valve right here on the T-handle. You can control, and I think you can change which one you can control. You can either control up or down or left and right with it. And you can also put it in float right here. You can raise it up and let it down under pressure. You can, on this T-handle here, you can also raise and lower and stop your lift arms. You have an automatic throttle button, so you can have a preset throttle position that you want it to go to, and just hit that button and it'll go to it. And you also have a PTO button. Once you turn the PTO on over here, you can tap this button once and it cuts the PTO off. You can tap it twice and it cuts the PTO back on. You can also shift forwards or reverse. And then you have a headlands management button, and you can set this button up to do all kinds of different things with just one press of the button. You can like have it change gears, raise the lift arms up, actuate the hydraulics. I mean, you can have it do a whole lot of things. So but anyway, what else? Oh, this also shifts the transmission forward or up or down and up. Well, see, up and down. I'm sorry. If you're going backwards, it's up and down. It changes directions from where you're going. It still has 2 mechanical remote valves, so if you need to use the loader and remote valves, you still can. So you can still use the loader and the remote valves, but you only have 2 mechanical ones. So if you have something that has more than 2, you can't use the loader at the same time, which I don't have anything. Well, the bush hog uses 3, but I'm not normally bush hogging and using the loader at the same time. So anyway, that's the deal with that. You got the throttle here is on the armrest. You got a knob here that you can fine control your 3-point hitch. If you need a position control, you have a way to control the 3-point hitch up, all the way up and down right here. And then you have some buttons here. You have a low and a high mode for the transmission. You have a throttle limit button and an ISO button. That this tractor is ISO ready, but it doesn't have ISO. This button here locks and unlocks this hydraulic control. The seat does swivel. The T5 does not, so that's nice. All the let me turn the key on here so you can see. All the four-wheel drive, differential lock, main light controls here. You have this tractor has twin hydraulic pumps, and this combines them both and sends extra flow to this valve here, which is for the loader or the rear. It makes the loader move twice as fast. It's really neat. Makes it really get going. Here's all your 3-point leakage adjustments, your speed and draft control and height adjustment. Here you can have 540, 540E, or put PTO neutral, or switch it to 1000. And here's where you turn on all your work lights, or your warning beacon if you have one. This tractor don't have one as of right now. So anyway, yeah, that's basically everything I want to talk about for right now. This screen here does a lot of stuff with these controls, and it's not nearly as simple to use as the one in the John Deere, but the John Deere one controlled stuff like the air conditioning and the radio, and that was about all you could change on the John Deere because it didn't have any options. It didn't have anything electronic, so the screen on it was basically, like somebody said, it was eye candy. This one actually does some functions, so you can have it to where you can go in here and set up a remote to kick on when you can hit this button to raise up say you have the mower plugged into the remote for this button. You can have it set to where it'll kick on for 2 seconds. So all you have to do is bump the button and the hydraulics will stay on for 2 seconds to raise the mower all the way up. You can time the mower and see how long it takes it to go up. Let's say it takes 3 seconds for it to go up. You can set it to come on for 3 seconds in here. So all you have to do is hit the button, just bump the button. It'll stay on, the hydraulics will stay on for 3 seconds. Bring the mower up, and then it'll shut off. And then you can double tap the float, and it'll go in the float and let the mower back down. That will be very fatigue saving, I believe, because what I'm doing now, when I'm turning around and stuff, I'm constantly mechanically operating the valve on the T5 like this, constantly. You know, constantly raise up, back to float. Raise up, back to float. You know, and I was having to keep, the seat has to stay straight. It doesn't swivel. So I'm having to turn around, you know, crane around, constantly raise it up, let it down. This tractor, you can set it up to, you can swivel around, hit the button, raise it up, turn around at your headland, double tap, let it down, and you're back on your way. So that's pretty nice. They made the dash on the 57s compared to the 56. I had never ran a 56, but they say the dash on them were a lot harder to see, so they changed that, made the dash a lot brighter, and that's really nice. So anyway, it does have a buddy seat too, so my little buddy or my wife can ride with me if I decide to go this route. Oh, and this, I done showed you this, but there's one little neat thing about this hatch up here. It opens up like this to let air in if you want some air, or you can slide it back into the cab and hey, look, there's no roof on this tractor at all now. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And there's a big guard up here to keep its stuff from falling in on you or breaking the window, hopefully. So that is a cool feature. So if your window's dirty and you're trying to look up, you can open it up and just get a really good clear view because it'll be out of the way. Nothing in your way. So then you can close it back like this and latch it. That's a pretty neat little, I like that. I really like this Vizio roof as far as the function of it and the visibility. I just don't particularly care for how it looks on the outside. But, you know, function over looks, I guess. You know, the John Deere, you can get a lot of this stuff on the John Deere, but that John Deere that I was looking at that I can afford does not have all that stuff. The John Deere has that diesel exhaust filter on it, and it gave me some trouble while I had it. I had it for 3 days, and it threw up an error code and said that the exhaust filter was restricted, power would be reduced, and then I cut the tractor off and re-cranked it, and it went away. And I was actually getting ready to take the tractor back, but when I re-cranked it, it went into a regeneration mode, and I drove it around for 30 minutes just holding it wide open going up the road, and it just stayed in regeneration mode, and it sounded like it had a cork stuck in the exhaust. It was extremely loud, like a loud hissing noise and blowing noise. But anyway, it never did quit regenerating, and I just give up on it and went and shut it down. So anyway, I do not care for diesel exhaust filters. I've had dealings with those things in the past, and I don't really want to go back to that. I had a T4 that had that, and it was always regenerating, and that was aggravating. This cab, it may not be quite as quiet as the John Deere cab, but it is really quiet. It's a lot quieter than the T5. So there it's idling. There's wide open. There's about PTO speed. So I think it's about 78 decibels, wide open, something like that. Let me go check it again. I don't know that I don't remember if I checked the John Deere, but all right, let me show you idling. Idle 66. So I'm talking louder than it's idling. So I'm going to rev it wide open and I'm going to shut up. Well, when I start talking, it goes up. 79. We'll go to PTO speed. 75, 76 at PTO speed. But you can see I'm talking at like 88, 80 some decibels. So the tractor's quieter than I'm talking. So anyway, we're going to put this tractor to work this weekend and see what we can do with it. I got some square belling to do tomorrow, and Sunday, Father's Day, I have a bunch of straw to get up out of the field. I'm going to do my custom straw job. So yeah, we're going to be doing all that this weekend, and so I got a lot to do. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Well, tell me what you think. I know John Deere guys are going to hate it, Massey guys are going to love it, but anyway, tell me what you think. What do y'all think about the looks of this tractor? You know, it's not the prettiest tractor on the market for sure, but it is a nice tractor, and it's got a lot of functionality to it. So anyway, talk to y'all later. See you on the next one.